What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode video on the DDE channel. My name is Dom, and today I'm here to talk about who should be the Queen and King of the Ring of 2026. I'm gonna make this video fairly quick. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. The boys gotta cut water. Them shits hit good. So let's get straight into the video. And also, this is being made literally last minute, so I want to get this shit out by Wednesday. So let's get into it. Now, the tournament brackets have already been out. We've already had our two qualifiers of we've already had our two move-ons for both King and Queen of the Ring. Obafemi defeated Carmelo Hayes, Penta, and Solo Sikoa to move on, and Io Sky beat Julia, Roxanne Perez, and Lash Legends to move on to the Queen of the Ring. So here are the, I guess I was going to do 5, and then I saw who won the King and Queen of the Ring. So here are the 4 people you could have potentially win and go on to fight for a world champion. I'm going to be doing this from least likely to most likely, starting off with at the bottom of the list for my women's for the Queen of the Ring, Jacy Jayne. And I'm only putting her at the very bottom is because I've seen the rest of the list of people who's on that tournament bracket, and out of all of them who I think should win, Jacy's at the bottom. I think that'd be a cool ass thing to do, to have a newcomer come in, almost like what they did with Lyra in a way with 2024's Queen of the Ring, where they had her go to the finals but lose to Nia Jax, and she was, I think, basically like a year fresh from NXT. So that was a very good representation, real good story making moment for Lyra. I feel like if you did that with Jacy, but even go one step further and have her win the Queen of the Ring tournament, that'd be amazing. And then put her immediately to a prominent position for Rhea Ripley or Liv Morgan, but Rhea Ripley is the way to go against Rhea Ripley at a Big Four PLE in SummerSlam. That is a star making moment right there that I think Jacy Jayne is perfect for. I would have had Blake, but she's not in the tournament. Jordynne Grace isn't in there, but Liv Morgan is for some reason. I'm still very so they're doing it because Stephanie's injured. That's fine. Why is she in the tournament still? But yeah, I think Jacy Jayne is still a good dart throw to have on the list of potential winners. Don't count her out, because she also does have fatal influence, so don't count her out. The next woman on my list is Becky Lynch. Now, excuse me, Becky recently losing the IC title to Soruka at Clash in Italy has drastically opened her up to like more potentially top tier competition. You know what I mean? It has felt like that the IC title was not, I'm not going to say holding Becky back, because it wasn't. Becky was doing great things with the IC title, but I feel like her being in the IC division meant that we were kind of just stuck in the main event. Like now, like Liv is doing nothing. Rhea is still presumably feuding with Jade, I think. And so it's like, it's still kind of in a rotation of nothing. And before all of that, it was much worse. Stephanie really wasn't feuding with anybody apart from Nikki Bella. And she was feuding with Raquel. Never mind. Stephanie was good, but yeah, Jade was doing fuck all. She had one defense before WrestleMania against Jordynne Grace that I got to see live. It's a fucking wonderful match to see live. But yeah, the women's division main event style has been kind of rough. So I feel like putting Becky back into the main event of the women's division would benefit both Becky, but also the women's title again. Like how Becky being inserted into the IC title benefited the IC title. And then also Wouldn't that be cool? We'll get to the King of the Ring later, but I think Becky winning would be ideal too, especially if they're going in a certain direction. I think that'd be fun if she won Queen of the Ring, held that over fucking Sol Ruga's head, like, yeah, fucking whatever, you won the IC title, I'm Queen of the Ring. What are you gonna do about that? You know what I mean? And then fight Liv or Rhea, Rhea being the better option, but Liv or Rhea for their world champion. I think that'd be a good idea. I think that'd be cool. And again, can't roll Becky Lynch out. She will win. Third on my list for the Queen of the Ring is Jade Cargill, and this is purely only because she's in the tournament, and I mean, she has a current feud going on with Rhea. One that makes sense for Jade to win. Like, they did that with Cody. You know what I mean? You did that with Cody. He lost to John Cena at WrestleMania, came back, pinned John Cena at Money in the Bank, and that was the catalyst of, like, you know what? I think I should win King of the Ring so I can get my rematch against John Cena. And it's like, you could have also just, you know, argued that you pinned John Cena for the rematch, because you did, and you didn't need to win King of the Ring. Whatever, Cody's the king, yay. Like, Cody was still technically in an ongoing feud with John Cena and won King of the Ring to keep that feud going. Jade could easily just win Queen of the Ring twice to keep that story going with Rhea Ripley, to potentially have her last and final opportunity at the belt at SummerSlam, one of the biggest shows that they could ever produce in the summertime, the party of the summer, if you will. That one's a quick entry, just like, she's in the tournament, she's an option, she's there. And the last that I have on my list for Queen of the Ring is Charlotte Flair, because she's the queen. Bow down to the queen. Need I say more? Nah. I feel like it'd be a good thing to do with Charlotte versus, basically, Liv is just there. Liv is waiting for Stephanie back here. Alright? Like, all of these feuds are for Rhea Ripley. You know what I mean? Like, I can't really make an argument for, oh, you could do JC Jane versus Liv Morgan. No, you can't. You can do fucking Jade Cargill versus Liv. Why would you do Jade versus Liv? All of these are for Rhea Ripley. You know what I mean? And then also, I've been toying with the idea, because somebody else did say it too, of potentially doing a triple threat at SummerSlam for the women's champion between Jade, Rhea, and Charlotte. And I kind of like that. I kind of like that idea, and I think a cool way of doing that is having, like, Jade bitch and moan about, like, I deserve one more shot at my women's champion at the biggest stage, and Charlotte coming out as Queen of the Ring, being like, well, I won my opportunity, what are you gonna do about it? Basically, like with Becky and Sol again, what are you gonna do about it, Jade? And then have them argue and everything, and Rhea just like, I'll fight both of you if that makes it easier. I'll fight you both. It doesn't matter to me. You know what I mean? And I feel like either way I feel like to get there you should have Charlotte win Queen of the Ring. Because if Jade wins it again, Charlotte doesn't really have a strong argument to be fighting Rhea for the champion, because they're buddies now. So I feel like if you wanted Charlotte to fight Rhea, she should be Queen of the Ring. And then then you can potentially add a Jade Cargill variant if you wanted to, or just have the Charlotte Rhea rematch that from WrestleMania 39, which I have recently rewatched, and I actually very much liked. I don't know what was going on. It passed me because I watched that show live. I watched that match live, and for whatever reason, I didn't like it back then. I don't know what was going on, but I rewatched it. It's a great ass match, and I feel like doing it now would be a better match. So yeah, Charlotte's a good table setter for Queen of the Ring. Now we get to our King of the Ring potential winners. By the way, yeah, Io Sky was on my list before the finish of those matches. Io Sky was on my list. So is Obafemi itself, since both of them have already made it to the semifinals. I believe they are. yeah, I don't need to have him on the list. But Oba is on my list. Io was on my list. But to the King of the Ring, bottom of my list of people who I don't think will win it, but could win it, Royce Keys. I just think you should capitalize on Royce Keys. He's so damn good. You had that moment with Gunther and Cody where he's like, yo, Gunther, if you're not gonna sign that opportunity for a champion, but I'll take it. If you're getting handouts, I'll take that. Give me that. And I thought that was such a cool moment for Royce Keys. And then, yeah, standing up to losing, but standing up to Gunther was also such a cool ass moment. And I really do feel like if they wanted to be bold, like it's weird saying that the safe option here is a Obafemi or a Braun Breaker or all of those that I'm going to mention later do feel like safe options, which is weird because all of them are fairly new, apart from Seth and Knight. But if y'all wanted to be bold, Royce Keys would be an amazing Cody Rhodes opponent. Or hell, this is a one where you can have Roman stand up to, especially with his connections with Solo Sikoa. Be like, yo, listen, y'all are part of the same family. I might as well fight one of you. I've already beat you and your family. I'm gonna go for the other family. You know what I mean? I feel like Royce Keys being King of the Ring would be pretty cool. Next on my list is LA Knight. Yeah. Now, I only put him on the list because he was at the time, he was the only fucker who was announced for King of the Ring, apart from Trick Williams. But Trick is basically with the United States champion and Ricky Saints and Carmelo Hayes. So he's busy. He doesn't count. LA Knight has jack fuck going. So he's like, I mean, if we're doing King of the Ring, boys, the boy's in it. And yeah. And so, yeah, LA Knight not having really much to do, I guess, is a contender. I think he could. I think if he, you can make the argument again for LA Knight versus Roman Reigns SummerSlam for the World Heavyweight Champion. I think all of these are for. So all of the women were for Rhea Ripley. I think all of these are for Roman Reigns, because who else is there to fight Roman Reigns? Fucking nobody. Jacob lost, so might as well try to, I don't know, find another person for Roman to fight. LA Knight's right there. He's always willing to fight the blow. He's always willing to fight your faction. You got a new faction, throw an LA Knight in there, no one's gonna notice. But I feel like an LA Knight feud and match for SummerSlam for the World Heavyweight Champion because of King of the Ring is not a bad journey to go through. You could also just have LA Knight challenge Roman Reigns. But a King of the Ring is a nice little feel-good moment of like, yeah, he's getting the thing that he should be getting. Good for him. Good things do come to those who wait. And then he'll lose against Roman and never win a match again. It's like, well, at least he won King of the Ring. I'm very cynical about it because I don't think he's gonna win it, but I'll be honest, out of all the other options there were, I have Royce Keys on the list. There's not a lot of good options for the men, I'll be honest. The other man on my list that could potentially be King of the Ring is Seth freaking Rollins. And I honestly predict, in a way, if not the finals of Braun and Seth, I think Braun makes it to the finals and Seth costs him the King of the Ring. I should have saved that for when I got to Braun, but fuck it. The boys had to cut water. I don't have notes. I just have names. Alright, I'm just thinking off the top of my head. The words are coming out before I can even really think about them. Yo, these cut waters be hitting crazy. I had 2 of them. Yeah, no, Seth Rollins. It's Roman and Seth, dog. Like, you did Punk and Roman. You've done Punk and Seth. Fucking complete the circle. Complete the triangle. Roman and Seth is right there. Damn, that was, I think, what, the original Mania feud, too? before Seth's injury. I think that was the original feud that they were going to do for Mania. Roman winning the Rumble still, and then challenging Seth. Basically, they could have just done the whole CM Punk Roman feud and then just replaced Punk with Seth, and there would have been a zero difference. I hate you, Seth, and there would have been no difference. You could literally replace CM Punk's name with Seth Rollins, and I don't see where anything falls apart. And I feel like a nice way to get to that is Seth winning King of the Ring. He doesn't need. By the way, yeah, same thing with LA Knight. He doesn't need to win King of the Ring. Seth doesn't need a King of the Ring win. It's just at that point, it's just a nice little stamp to add onto his little collection. You know, he's already a Grand Slam champion, Money in the Bank holder, Royal Rumble winner, multi-time main eventer. Might as well King of the Ring. Nice little to your little collection book. Might as well. He doesn't need it. It's nice to have. No, like we don't count like the Rumble and the Money in the Bank as a Grand Slam thing. They're just nice little stickers, nice little stamps to have in your book. Just like, oh, you also did these cool things too. That's nice. That's what the King of the Ring win would be for Seth. But it would be a cool way to get there, especially if we still do cooking in the background to like fuck with Seth. If we still have him in the background to like kind of fuck up Seth's plan of becoming a world champion, hey, might as well give him King of the Ring. Might as well, you know what I mean? There's not really much of an argument for Seth. I think it'd be cool to have King Rollins. Why not? And then, yeah, the final person to have on my list, I've already spoiled it, it's Braun Breaker. Just do it. Strap the rocket to Braun. Might as well, guys. Obafemi's my number one, mind you. He's the person who I have to win King of the Ring. Hopefully without any Brock shenanigans. Please. Give Oba King of the Ring. Just make him King of the Ring. But if not Oba, via Brock shenanigans, I do think if not Oba because Brock shenanigans, Braun Breaker would be like I guess the second pick to the number one pick for King of the Ring. Braun versus Roman would be a nice match. You know what I mean? Spear versus Spear, Young Dog versus Tribal Chief, Head of the Table versus Bark Man. You know, Badass Braun. I think that's a nice fucking match. Damn, that's a match. I honestly think that's a match worthy of a top 4 PLE. I think that's not Survivor Series. What are the? It's Survivor Series. It's WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, and SummerSlam. I don't know why Money in the Bank comes to mind because it feels like a big 4. No, we can replace that. We can retroact that, right? Survivor Series isn't that important to be named a top 4. The big 4. We fucking retroact that to Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank feels 10 times bigger than Survivor Series. Because Survivor Series is now just nothing but bullshit. Let's be honest with ourselves, right? Right? Okay. I feel like I've gone on a very weird rant there. That doesn't matter. I've had a cut water. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Now, normally with the team, or like if I felt like it, so y'all are getting the full rant. Braun Breaker winning. Yeah, I just think it'd be good to strap the rocket to a new competitor. It's Javon Evans in this match. Hold on, this is real now. Y'all, I'm telling you, I don't have anything written. Okay, yeah, Javon is in this match. Yeah, he's not winning it. I think to strap it to a young up-and-coming superstar who I believe is entitled to a world champion match. He wrestled for the world champion earlier this year. He fought Punk for that belt. He was in the Rumble. He got eliminated immediately by Obafemi. Yeah, I feel like to put Braun back into that title contender, he should, in a way, needs to win King of the Ring. The only problem now is he is a tag team wrestler with Austin Theory because of Logan's injury. The only way I can see this being fixed, but we don't have the time to fix it, is if we had Bronson back in time. You could have had Theory and Bronson, with Braun going for a King of the Ring. But that's the only reason that's kind of stopping me from putting all my chips into a Braun Breaker King of the Ring win. He's now a tag team champion with Austin Theory, so they should probably be focused on that instead of Theory just kind of being the background character. Especially after the good work that he did on last week's Raw too, being labeled as some kind of a killer by taking out Joe Hendry and Angelo Dawkins in the same night. I think being resorted into a background character would be a disservice to Theory and the work he did that night. But I also feel like keeping Theory and Braun as the tag team champions is a disservice to Braun Breaker for what he's been doing the past months before his injury and his feud with Seth. So yeah, that's the only thing that's kind of stopping me from going all in on Braun. But it's Braun Breaker. He's the future. You gotta at least throw that out there of a potential King of the Ring winner. You know what I mean? Yeet. And those are my King and Queen of the Ring predictions. Let me know in the comments who you would have win King and Queen of the Ring. You already heard about my options, by the way. Yeah, Oba and Io for the win. Let me keep that. Let me get that straight. I think the two people who have already qualified, I actually kind of predict they're at the number one list on. They're on the top of my list of people who I think is winning King and Queen of the Ring. I think Io and I think Oba Femi win. I want them to win so badly. But let me know in the comments who you think will win. Make sure you like and share. And please turn on that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload. I've learned that Raw they're basically gonna be in the UK and the European service for the next couple of weeks. Meaning we're gonna get a bunch of early events that I won't be watching live. So I didn't do it last week. I didn't do it this week, and I do feel a little bad about it, but I couldn't be bothered. It felt nice, being honest, to not have to worry about my review of Raw this week. So depending on how the rest of the week goes, you might not get a review. You might not even get a short, to be completely honest. But I do still have my Wednesday videos cooking, because they're a lot more work than the reviews in general. They're a lot more work, so I have to make time for those. But with that being said, I don't. What do I usually do? I think I just end it here, right? The Cutwaters are hidden, boys. It feels good. But anyways, I am going to leave it here. See ya. I love you. How do I end these videos? I don't even know how I end these videos. Is there a right way? I don't care. I'll see you when I see you.